Show. What's in your cup?
The Kickback Show, thekickbackshow.com, all up in this itch. I go by the name of Foz, and she is...
West Side, nigga, organic blackberry. What's up? And she is...
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Tiana Giovanna, as always, and he is...
DJ Swivel. Anything less will be unswivelized.
There you have it there.
Oh, you would just add that in.
No. Yeah, I like that. That was I like the air horns. I'm kind of mad that people are coming back out for the quarantine. I don't want it to be over yet.
It's been a good time, right?
It's been a good time being able to drive these streets and get to where you need to be in Los Angeles in 15 minutes. Let me tell you what.
Okay, praise hands.
Right?
Yeah, I'm ready for them to extend it until January?
Oh, it's about to get extended because these fools going around and protesting and congregating and catching corona and passing corona like it's, freaking a blunt.
You talking about the city?
Yeah.
They passing Eastville, Moreno Valley, Riverside, Chino, Ontario.
You stupid. Are you naming what they're passing on?
Yeah. Near the city of Corona, there's all those cities.
You don't know.
But so they closed the beaches, right? Gavin Newsom was like, y'all don't know how to social distance, so I'm just gonna close the beaches because y'all fucking up. So that, I think the next day, they were out by the hundreds protesting. Down here, even in, I know Huntington Beach got it. Hermosa Beach had a few people, but Huntington Beach had hundreds of white folks out there with their Trump signs and their bad hair. Talk about open the beaches. We need tans. we need haircuts. We need by the hundreds. So a couple weeks ago, they had remember when Trump did that whole liberate Virginia and liberate Michigan, all those tweets came out, right?
Yeah.
And it was a few dozen people that came out in Huntington. So in Orange County, after those protests, coronavirus infection rates jumped by 20%.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was after the little ones. So then after Gavin Newsom, the governor, closed the beaches, they came out by the hundreds. So I'm just waiting to see what them numbers are.
Didn't they say that we have to have no cases for 2 straight weeks before you get open? That's what LA said, right?
Well, yeah, that's that, and that's what the monkey in the White House said as well. The whole federal guidelines was 2 weeks of decline, but a lot of the states started reopening. Yeah,
I know Colorado too. They had some shit going down, and they had to finally close that plant. Didn't Tyson close up too?
They did for a little bit.
Well, but Trump signed an executive order saying that we need to keep all the meatpacking plants open.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm so glad. I mean, hey, take it for what you want, but shit, I'm so glad I ran out of meat, and so a nigga turned into an accidental vegan. And for real, my people came over and we had some chicken. I had a chicken taco. Oh my! I was in a fetal position, curled up. Something ain't right about that meat. For real. I was like, whoa. My body was like, what is this?
Yeah. Tiana's got nothing to worry about. She's got plenty of meat over here.
Oh, okay. All right. So we starting that. See, you gotta put the tongue. You gotta put the tongue out because otherwise that just means it don't look like he had no sausage. You gotta put his tongue out and do it. Yeah.
What?
When you just do it like this, you gotta feel it. You know what I'm saying?
I was doing it, but because the light is on this side, so I had to turn so you see that.
You and the light of the sun are the exact same. Oh, I saw it. I heard. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Tiana couldn't go vegan if she wanted to.
There it is. There. What? Look at this nigga's eyes looking out the window.
Yeah, on that note, the baby starts crying, of course.
Well, hey.
Man, it's about what, 85 degrees out today?
You stupid. It is a lovely day, man.
It's gonna be my R&B album, the cover. Just
Right.
The part that I find ironic is how in the last couple of weeks, though, you've been hearing a lot of the white people coming out comparing it to slavery. Like, how did
What?
Nah,
how did y'all get that?
Nah,
What
Like,
are they saying? I have not heard any of that.
they're saying that this quarantine, like this lockdown, is basically equivalent to slavery. Yeah,
Who is saying that? Who is saying that for like
protests. There's been protesters with signs that show that say that this lockdown is slavery.
slavery is not the one. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be mad, but slavery, that's not the one. That's not the one.
Brandy, they also talking about I guess apparently Karen is the new offensive term, the white lady.
Oh, okay, so we're done with Becky. It's Karen now.
It's Karen
Becky
now.
is something different.
And
Okay, Becky.
apparently now Karen is equivalent to the N-word.
Oh, I'm using
Who
that
said
more and more
Black people
now.
or white
I'm
people?
calling everybody Karen. I don't care if you're a male, I'm gonna call you Karen.
You can't.
So, what race said that Karen is equivalent to nigga?
You know what Ray said that.
Who, nigga? I don't answer the question.
White people.
Wow. So they're
White.
saying, come on, man.
Betty
Are you
White.
for real? That's crazy. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Like, so a joke is now turned into an actual. Come on.
I mean, it's fragility. That's all it is. It's fragility. It's let me start something, then if somebody ends up knocking me upside my head, I'm gonna cry and act as if I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play victim. You know, like I'm never accountable for any of the BS that, you know, my people are responsible for. And it's the age-old conversation. Apparently all black people, if one black person steals something, all black people are thieves. If one Mexican does something, then the entire Mexican, you know, country needs to be, you know, blocked out. If one you accuse one Arab of doing something, then all Muslim people are negative and bad. But let one white person do something, and it's an isolated event.
Right.
Or if the tables turn and y'all get verbally attacked, quote unquote, then all of a sudden it's a national disaster.
That's deep, man.
It's crazy.
Let white people go and protest about city closures, talking about they need haircuts and they need jobs. But when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, then all of a sudden it's attack on the flag and the country and how dare you and all those shenanigans.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. But I have a genuine question: are they really protesting for haircuts?
Yeah.
Well, I got a picture.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna show. I don't know if this will show on the camera. We'll see. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. So like.
Shut up.
Let's say all haircuts matter.
But like all those people with signs, they all say, "I need a haircut." Half of them, like the top half of the picture says it's all white protesters saying, "I need haircuts," and then the bottom half is like all black from like black protests talking about, you know, "I'm not a threat. Stop killing us. Don't shoot."
Right.
And stuff. And it's like, but they can go out and protest and form in mass groups about wanting haircuts and the economy open. But when we do it, as far as asking for some equal rights and to stop being murdered on camera and everything of that sort, you know.
Yeah, that's deep. But I will say this, as a culture, we just got to get our paperwork up. You know, I think that's, you know, everybody, I don't know everything, but I will say I'm pretty sure that if we worked on the paperwork side of things and passing other things, then, you know, that will also help with the protests instead of just going out and protesting and getting it out your system.
Yeah.
But
protest.
I would say that all those white people need to go on Netflix and watch Black as Fuck and then decide if they want to fucking protest for a haircut and compare it to slavery.
But Have you seen any of the critique on BlackAF?
You know
Yeah,
what?
I mean, I have, but I didn't honestly. I have my own, but I've heard about it. I didn't actually go and read it up, but what I did hear, I kind of thought was a little silly because now I've only heard like 3 things, so there's some other stuff maybe that I don't know about.
So some of the things that I've heard, and I absolutely love the show. I think it's brilliant. I think it speaks from a very unique perspective and brings a lot of things into perspective, right?
Right.
For those of you that haven't seen the show, it's written by a writer, a black writer, who has done Blackish, Mixed-ish, Grown-ish. I want to say that he's written on movies. I don't know right off the top,
Shaft,
yeah.
America's Next Top Model.
America's Next Top Model was his biggest. Which shout out to them paychecks that I get from that because I've had music on there.
I don't know.
But the critique that they're getting is how do you have a show called BlackAF when you don't have like a black representation? Quote unquote.
They are black representation.
Listen, I agree. I think that there's nothing wrong with the show. I think when it comes to diversity, it's a double-edged sword because there's certain people out there that want to see a show like BlackAF have a darker, melanated representation.
But the show was about his family. If they Google his fucking family,
yes,
his family's not dark skinned. It doesn't mean he's not black.
I know this, but this is the critique that they're getting back. Another thing is how Rashida Jones has always portrayed a white woman in, Parks and Recs, The Office, so on and so forth, and now all of a sudden she's a black mother. The irony is that her daddy made Thriller. She's the blackest person alive. Like, come on. But then even on top of that, to her defense, when you're in acting, you're not responsible for the typecasting that you get.
No, you're
know
not.
What I'm saying? Like, there's a Mexican actor that has literally played. He was one of the Mexican gangsters in Training Day. He's been that same character in hundreds of movies. You know what I mean?
The homie Noel G.
Noel G. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And a very good brother. You know what I mean? But he gets casted as that, gets a paycheck. Yeah. It's not her fault that she fits into a particular prototype. You know what I mean? That works well on camera. Like,
okay. Because I feel like critiques, especially online, are heavily bandwagon based, driven. So it's like whoever started that motherfucker, were they black? That's what I want to know. Because it's like whoever started that shit, if you watched that shit and really that's what you took away from the show, somebody like, no, how is it? Why would they make it like it's just like Blackish and that's supposed to be about, like, shut the fuck, like, what? I'm so confused. When did motherfuckers not be allowed to create art all the time in the ways that they want to create art? I'm confused. Like, can we not be excited that it's not another fucking slave show? I just want to know.
He actually had Tyler Perry on the show and said exactly what you just said.
Exactly, he did. Yeah. He surely did. He surely fucking did. And then even when he was, critiquing that other guy and they all came together and was like, yo, we got to just be together publicly, period. Like, we all need to be able to express our art in our ways. Like, that shit, it's so funny how, now this is only speaking to motherfuckers that have, negative shit to say about the black as fuck in that regard. It's like, it's so funny how you are so in line with talking shit, but like, how in line are you with politics? With us? How in line? Where you get your toilet paper from? Where you get your toothpaste from? Like, how in line with you are you with the black code that you want to talk that shit? Look at me, I'm getting mad and shaking. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop.
I just don't understand where the critique is coming from, because the show is just showcasing black culture. Who cares if the people on the show are light skinned or dark skinned or anything in between? What does that matter? The show is about culture. It's not about how melanated your freaking pigmentation is.
Right. And that's not what we're about as a culture anyway. So the fact that should be the forefront of a lot of conversations, it's like, man, that shit is old, my nigga. Like, we are all different colors, nigga. That shit doesn't make, nigga, in the culture of Indian cultures, like, you are, if you grew up with the tribe and learned the way, if you are a part of that tribe, that doesn't mean that you don't have to have the same blood. Yeah. So it's like, I just, anyway.
But I think to their defense, I guess, to play devil's advocate, I mean, this kind of goes without saying. It's something that a lot of us know, but for those of the listeners that don't, there isn't necessarily a heavily great representation of dark melanated skin on TV and movies. So I think a lot of that anger, and whoever does start it, is kind of aiming and nitpicking at one specific detail and missing the overall goal. You know what I mean? And again, that's a show about his family and what his family looks like. That's his story. Yeah. There's dark and melanated actors and writers in Hollywood, Lena Waithe, the Ava DuVernays of the world that show dark and melanated skin and have a great representation on television. You know what I mean? Even though I don't necessarily agree with his subject matter, Tyler Perry has employed and has created work. I don't feel as though that it's a great representation of Black culture, but he has developed his brand so much so that he owns all of Atlanta and damn near now all of television. Every you turn on BET, I think BET literally stands for Tyler Perry Television. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact that I think he has a show called Sisters, but then now has a show called Bruh.
They got a show called Bruh?
It's a show called Bruh or Brothers or something like that. That's basically Black men. It's basically a Black man's version of Living Single or Girlfriends.
Oh, I'm here for that.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, have y'all seen it though? Are they wearing the wigs?
I refuse. I refuse to watch it. I know that it's not for me.
Oh, okay.
But again, there's stuff that's out there.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? And I was dark skinned all my life. So I definitely grew up and saw the change of our variations of hues coming into cinema, and I do understand how it feels growing up and not seeing you at all. And now we are, so don't hate on the shows that are showcasing our culture in a positive light. Even like you said, even if you don't agree with the culture, it's still about that. It's not like it's a fraudulent depiction. That's a real depiction of how that our culture can be. So you shouldn't get wrapped up in colors, because that's if you wanted to just chuck in a couple chocolate children, that's not really authentic to what the story was supposed to be about. And that's a real depiction of us too.
But I think that's part of the issue, is that there isn't dark-skinned people being represented as doctors or lawyers, or the same way that some of these other shows depict them. Like usually if it's black skin, dark black skin, it's either a criminal movie, they locked up, they still kind of fit into a particular genre in a sense. Almost like Queen and Slim. Like I just watched Queen and Slim. I didn't want to see it because I already knew what was going to happen. And it was your Bonnie and Clyde, typical Bonnie and Clyde theme. It was good to kind of see a level of retribution for police brutality. But then the way that it ended was very predictable, and one of those things to where it's like, why not make this movie, unless it's based on a true story, why not make it they get away?
Right. And all the feedback from that movie was bullshit too. And when I say feedback, I mean when people said that exact thing, what was said, it was like, what the fuck are you saying? You talking, what the fuck? So shit, if y'all want to slam something, slam that. I did not like that shit, straight up.
I didn't either. Which is why Django is one of my favorites. Damn. I don't care if Quentin Tarantino produced it and wrote it and directed it. I love him as a director. I love his work. I don't care how many times they said the N-word. It was a spaghetti Western. Yep. And it was a black man that was looked at in no way that we've seen in Westerns before, especially doing a time period piece outside of the Chappelle Show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even then, it was satirical.
Have you seen Posse?
Have I seen what's that?
Have you seen Posse with Blair Underwood?
No.
Oh, that's a black question for you. Yeah, like early mid '90s. That's probably like the first Western that I saw, like as a kid, that was like all black representation. Like, oh,
that's great. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
No, I was gonna say, speaking of watching shows, what y'all thinking about this The Last Dance on ESPN?
Oh, man.
So I just started watching it. When I say that I've never been so excited,
Man.
like I feel like a little kid. Like,
man. I mean, like right now, I'm like, all right, like when he said 5, I'm like, yep, you right, nigga, because I gotta, you know what I'm saying, I gotta get ready. For, you know what I'm saying, I gotta get mentally prepared, I gotta pray, you know what I'm saying, I gotta get ready.
Get your outfit ready, align your chakras.
All I know is I've been wearing different pair of Jordans every episode.
I wish I had that many. Look.
I'm about to run out though, because they're about to go on to episode 5 and 6. I'm down to my last pair.
Man, well, you know me, so I'll just recycle them.
Yeah.
I think that it's incredible though. I think it's wild how LeBron James keeps getting slandered through all of this as a player.
Why?
Yeah, I mean they're comparing. I mean that's just what people do. I mean we get it that LeBron and Jordan are 2 different types of players. But one of the things that I'm hoping is that through this documentary, people will have a more of an appreciation for LeBron and everything that he did and he went through. Granted, we can decide whether or not that we agree with his tactics of leaving Cleveland and all that kind of stuff, but the fact that he brought the way that he manages business. I'm not talking about him as a player. Sure. Him as a player, we can have whatever opinion that we want. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel as though that he lives up to the hype that a lot of people gave him because he doesn't have that killer instinct like Jordan or Kobe, which we appreciate and we love, or the Sean Kemp's of the world. Like we have experienced a different episode of the NBA. You know, when things were a lot different and everybody was a killer. Right? It's a lot different now, where everybody isn't a Russell Westbrook, right? But at the end of the day, one of the things that I think we as consumers are ignorant to is the business and a lot of the BS that these athletes have to deal with when it comes to a corporation or industry such as sports. Even bleeding over into football, the mistreatment of contracts or whatever the case may be. The way that LeBron was able to decipher where he wanted to go on his own terms, get a championship, do what was best for his family, to now get to the point to where you come to Los Angeles and not only are you looking out for yourself, but now you have other players like AD, KCP, who am I missing? My guy in Philadelphia, you know what I mean? Like all of them now kind of have leverage over the industry on where they want to go and what they want to do and how much they get paid. Whatever your opinion is about KCP, he's still on the Lakers, where he could have easily got traded, but he had a no trade clause. You know what I'm saying? When I watched the documentary going back to Jordan, the fact that this documentary exists because of poor management in the front office or because they wanted to quote unquote rebuild in the middle of a dynasty that was happening. You have literally one of the best players in the world, you know, on your team, and the best number 2 guy who I was sad to hear that he wasn't getting paid. He was getting paid trash.
That shit hurt my soul.
But I mean, it goes back to the business aspect of it, because then I read an article where they said that Pippen got out of the league making like 10 million for like a 1 or 2 year contract.
Yeah.
Say it again.
He got his money when he left. Yeah.
He got his money. I mean, his whole thing was just like, look, I need to get this contract now. Like, let me just get this money. And
Pippen should have been making that $10 million per year during the Bulls dynasty. Like, not after when he's traded to Portland. Like,
Exactly.
But I mean, but it goes back, and again, to my point, we're able to see what these general managers and owners, what they're really doing. Like, we can laugh at Magic Johnson, not us specifically, but the world can laugh at Magic Johnson for what happened with him and the Lakers. But then again, who's to say that same trash wasn't, didn't exist over in the Lakers organization, with these general managers and owners doing whatever they want and whatever they please, and wanting to go in one particular direction that doesn't benefit the dynasty. Like, I get it, you just want to get butts and seats, but at the end of the day, what are we doing here? Like, y'all playing with people's livelihoods, literally, to where at any point I could just say, you know what, let's go ahead and we can trade Swivel. Let's send him to Memphis because we can get a couple first round draft picks and some money, and we can get this knocked off. And it's good for business, but now Swivel got to pack up his whole family and go to a whole nother region that he's not familiar with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you making bank, but then your wife, your lady, your kids got to go to a brand new school. She got to get a whole nother job, like whatever the case may be. Like, there's certain things that I think that we don't see that this documentary is clearly exposing. And I love the fact that they're painting every character out. Like, you're able to see Jordan. You saw Pippen and his family. My favorite, and I got so hyped when Dennis Rodman came up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Brandy's got some thoughts on the show she wants to share. I think for me, like, I agree with Foz, what you're saying as far as like what LeBron has been able to do and influence like other players in the league on how they can control their own business and their own brand and their own money, their own destination and that sort of thing. But for me, episode number 2, like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes into episode number 2, that was all you needed to put the argument to bed about LeBron being greater than Jordan, because it's not even close. It's not even close. When
are they saying greater? I thought they were just comparing the two, but they're saying greater?
The debate has been with a lot of people for over a year, I'd say, have been trying to put LeBron over Jordan. And I'm like, no, it's not possible. Like, let's just stop and think, right? Jordan went to the NBA Finals 6 times undefeated. Never even went to a Game 7. LeBron's been to the NBA Finals, 9 times? Won 3. Mm-hmm. What's the winning percentage? It's not very good. 3 out of 9, that's not a good winning percentage. Not to mention the fact you had to.
Do they say for LeBron that because he carried his teams and Jordan had a good team? Is that what they said? That's what I've heard.
I think a lot of analysts and whatnot are looking at LeBron's style of play, his accomplishment, and saying he's accomplished as much, if not more, than Jordan. I'm like, where do you figure? Jordan in the documentary on episode 2 was like, look, I just won Rookie of the Year. I had an ankle injury and I was out for the vast majority of my second season. When I came back, they capped me at 14 minutes per game max.
Right.
We were trying to make a playoff run. We squeezed in, and then in 2 games against Boston, I put up buckets. Yeah. Like, LeBron wasn't that good when he was a second-year player in the league. He's not even averaging Jordan numbers now. Like, so it's the argument of Jordan and LeBron, to me, like, that's been dead, and I never subscribed to it. Like, I always felt Kobe has accomplished far more than LeBron has, and I don't see why the debate is not between Kobe and Jordan versus LeBron and Jordan. Like, LeBron and Jordan, to me, is not even a debate.
I would love to participate in this conversation, but Swivel started watching the shit without me. Didn't even ask if I was interested in watching any of it. So while he's, chilling on the couch in his Jordans, watching this great documentary that I would have loved to have been privy to, I'm over here taking care of the kids.
I'll watch
or
it.
sleep.
I'll watch it.
Because he'll turn it on at 3:00 in the morning when ain't nobody around.
No, it starts.
What would y'all say? It's about 72 degrees out right now. Nice.
Nah. Look at me. You a good friend. He up here now. I'm adding fuel to the fire. I'm like, and then what? And then so what you gonna do about it? So what you gonna do about it?
You know? I'm the sole chef in this house. That's all I got.
Well, I would say honestly, it comes on and replay every Saturday. You know, you just gotta watch it earlier.
No,
so I would say next Saturday.
Watch it on demand right now on the ESPN app.
Yeah.
Y'all got it's on demand?
On the ESPN app it is, yeah.
Because I went and it wouldn't okay, well, you need
because he watches it on demand. Without me.
So it's on demand. So what does that mean? You can watch it yourself. Oh, you just want to watch it?
When would you propose that I watch it myself? When I am the one with the kids.
Them kids sleep sometimes. They gotta eat sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a will, there's a way.
I put this one to bed.
Imani takes a nap every afternoon.
Oh, like this afternoon? When we're doing
okay,
stuff?
we're not about to get into y'all marital problems right now.
Yep. Yeah.
But what I will say is, I'm so grateful that it is out, and not so much that it's out, but that it dropped when it dropped, because it's like there is like how we were saying, like whatever you want to do right now. I'm not like, granted, there's other things that you just physically can't do because you are, tied up, but whatever you want, you really could have. And it's literally like they said, he said he had an on-off switch and he just didn't turn it off. And it's just like, when you really put your mind to something, there's limits that you didn't even know. Like there is literally, it's like boundless. Like the world is your oyster. And I just feel like it was just so inspiring. It was one of those like, all right, let's go.
I agree. It definitely took me back to my days as a kid when I was watching Jordan play, like and watching his highlight reels, like before my basketball games. Like it took me back to that inspirational feeling that, and knowing like hearing Kobe and like seeing like the whole Mamba mentality, like you see exactly like where he modeled it from.
Right.
And just to kind of like see Kobe's inspiration, who was also my inspiration, like it's it's a whole nother beast of a basketball player. Like I mean, what Jordan did from day one entering the league, I'm just like, I didn't even know. I wasn't even privy to the fact that Jordan won a gold medal playing on the Olympic team before entering the NBA. Like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, so he already had that feeling of being a champion before even stepping on the court for his rookie season. Like, that's
like, it's like none of us knew that he wasn't. I mean, maybe some people did, but I didn't know that he wasn't good back in the day. So it's like for him to have accomplished what he accomplished, it should be for anybody who don't really, think or, are literally in their own way, because maybe they feel they're so close to what they feel is their imperfections. It's like, you could change it though. Like, look at Jordan. Like, you could, granted, he did get a growth spurt and some more shit, but like, he like, it wasn't like he came out the womb dribbling in between his legs and shit and was just nice like that.
But one of the things, to your point, Brandy, that's a very good point. I think it's usually the people that get counted out. Because like, even if you look at Mike Tyson, I read his book, he was talking about how he got bullied and how something just clicked. Like he always had the determination, but something clicked in his life that made him, that either was going to make him or break him. And boxing was his channel to let out all of that frustration. And he was just relentless. I mean, and it's not ironic that we look at him now as a 53-year-old, black man, looking like he's 20 again. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
dishing out blenders.
I'm saying, You know what I mean? Or even Michael Jackson. And it's not ironic I'm bringing up all the mics, but Michael Jackson, his dad didn't even look at him as like a star, or didn't even consider, you know, putting him on the stage. You know what I mean? Like his dad almost kind of treated him the worst in a sense, you know, but ended up just having something that clicked in his life that took him over the edge. And I think, again, to your point, it's always going to be a determining factor if you have that already built inside of you.
So
which
it's
is
inside.
that will to want to be great. You know what I mean? Like you have to be determined to want to be better than everybody else. And it usually happens to the ones that get counted or that people don't believe in, because one of the things that stood out to me, Jordan's coach said something to him, you know what I mean? And he was just like, all right, I'm going to show you. And then everybody, you know, in the documentary, they like, yo, like in a matter of a week or 5 days, we found out like, yeah, he's the best player in the world. And he was only a high school student, you know what I mean? So, but it was more than him being smarter than everybody else or necessarily better. It was his will to want to work to get better than what he currently was. Because there was always going to be somebody better than you on the next level. But it's like, how do I learn how to defeat everybody? You look at Dennis Rodman. One of the things that I always admired about Dennis Rodman was not just him being wild, but his intelligence. Like hearing him talk about
the defense,
how he just sat and was like, okay, just throw the ball.
If I do this, the ball will ricochet there.
If it's going to go this way, so I'm looking at the rotation of the ball for when it hits the rim. That's mathematics. Like that's mathematics science. You know, but it takes somebody like that with that mindset to say, you know what, my stat line isn't going to be like Jordan's, who's 39, 8, 4, 2, and 3, or even like Scottie Pippen. I'm the number 3 guy on the thing. It's okay. I'll have 0 points, 28 rebounds, 15 assists. Like, and I'm gonna have 4 fouls because I'm getting in everybody's head. Like, and I'm a champion.
So how do you with you saying that? How do you like? What if you want to tap into it? Like, can you make it practical?
The best thing to do, like for somebody that's striving to be great, you have to find you and what makes you great. I think the mistake that a lot of humans make is that they see something. I'll take me, for example, right? Hypothetically speaking, I play basketball. I want to be like Jordan. So I'm going to do everything that Jordan does. Whereas my story isn't Jordan's. My plan isn't Jordan's plan. Like he had his life, he lived his life. That's his. What's mine? What's my goal? You know what I mean? My goal may not even necessarily be to make it into the NBA and be the next Kobe Bryant or LeBron or Magic Johnson or Jordan. My goal may be, you know what? Maybe I succeeded in a particular sense to make like a high level of success, but my end goal is to go back to the high school that I went to and played and won a championship at and coach them and be an example for the next generation. Maybe I groom the next Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Everybody want to be a star, but nobody want to take a trip to outer space. Nobody wants to go on the journey on their own to find where they're supposed to be, to find their place, to find where their greatness is at. Your greatness may not be to be famous to the entire world, but your entire world may be the 4 people sitting around you. It may be the 25 people in your immediate family. It may be, you know what I mean? It may be something else. Like your greatness shouldn't be determined and depicted by somebody else's greatness that you idolize. It should be your own that you find on your own.
And also you have to be, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I would say that also you have to don't get drunk off of, you know, the end. You have to really, really like wake up and love the journey. Because once you get to the end, you at it. Like, and then you still gonna have to remake new goals. And then you gonna have to do another journey. So it's like, you gotta really be present in the journey. And go ahead.
I remember watching my rest in peace, my grandma on my mom's side in Oakland. I remember being a kid, one of the times when my mom left me up there. And she used to watch like the late night little church shows and stuff like that. And I remember one of the guys that was talking said something that stuck with me all my life. And he said, there's no such thing as perfect. Practice shouldn't make perfect. It should make improvement. If you make perfect, then there's no more room left to grow. Then you've reached the ceiling. Like, that's it. It should always be improvement, because then that leaves an area and opportunity for you to continue to get better. So practice shouldn't make perfect. It should make improvement. You know what I mean? And what you just said, like, you should develop new goals, like find better ways to get smarter about whatever it is that you're doing. Like, find other avenues to take it to the next level and do better and greater things than you currently are at. And again, that shouldn't be based on somebody else's success. If anything you should take from other people is their determination, their will to never give up, you know, their consistency.
Kobe the Great said, there is no such thing as failure. You just try again, and you're gonna try again. Okay, I didn't make it the 7th time, I'll make it the 8th time. Okay, I didn't make it the 8th time, I'm for sure make it the 9th time. I didn't make it the 9th. It's like, it's only failure when you stop. So as long as you keep going, the possibilities are endless. Like, there is no such thing as failure.
I think for me, one of the things that like resembled with me, or still resides in me, was when I was in college. You know, I was coached by the world record holder, and he put it simply like he uses 3 words: positivity, belief, sacrifice. So he just told us PBS, like, and we knew exactly what he was getting at. But it was, in its simplest form, like, you have to have a positive mindset. You have to believe in yourself that you can accomplish whatever your goal is. And you have to understand that there's gonna take sacrifices. And you also have to know that, like, or accept that you're gonna have to sacrifice certain things, whether it be time, whether it be, you know, a relationship with somebody, or whatever the case may be. But if you kind of like follow that model, like, that's what he always viewed was the best way to accomplish whatever it is, you know, he was trying to accomplish. And he set the world record. Like, that's what I used for my motivation to keep me like in the right kind of state of mind to, you know, accomplish what I was trying to accomplish in college, and then so on after. And that's what I teach my athletes to this day. Like, I talk about, you know, PBS, like, and I just explain that. And like, when I was taught that, I didn't know about Mamba mentality. Like, sure, like, I watched Jordan growing up, and like, I saw his relentlessness, but it didn't really kind of key in until, like, you know, my track coach put it into like the PBS model or perspective for me. Like, once he explained it from that angle, I was like, oh, okay, like, now a lot of this stuff of guys who I idolize, like, a lot of that stuff now makes sense to me. And so, like, you know, that's what I use to this day.
We've been dropping bars. Y'all, I'm over here taking real notes, okay? So everybody listening, class is definitely in session.
You know, a little side note, I coached Dennis Rodman's son for 2 years.
Really?
That's crazy.
And how was that?
That's crazy.
He was a little strange, like Dennis is. Not nowhere near on Dennis's level. Like, Dennis is a whole nother level with his. But like, yeah, it was an interesting experience. Let me put it that way. He was a great kid though. Like, really hard worker, just like his dad. He never publicized like that's who his dad was, because he just didn't want that sort of notoriety, or I don't know, maybe he was low-key ashamed that his dad used to wear wedding gowns. I don't know.
I think it's more Dennis Rodman said it. It's the pressure that comes with, you know, being a celebrity in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, people criticize Kanye, but imagine being in Kanye's shoes to where you came from a place where nobody believed in you. People didn't even want you to be a rapper. You know, now you end up becoming one of the, you know, a legend in rap history, both with production and rapping. And then you wake up and you have random people taking pictures of you at all times of the day. You can't go eat without somebody taking a picture, harassing you. They're showing up to your house, taking pictures of your car, you know what I mean? And publicizing. It's like, you're basically like, granted, it comes with the territory, but says who at the same token? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
You know, it doesn't make it okay. Even if that is a business, it doesn't make it all right for you to have to deal with that every day of your life. So, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. I wouldn't want nobody to know either. Like,
George Bush hates black people.
The legendary statement from Kanye West.
Man, so does this orangutan that's in the office now. Chimpanzee.
That's crazy.
Don't give him that much credit.
What? As an orangutan?
Yeah, or a chimpanzee. He's
the one.
Oh, okay.
He's the one with where the booty. He's the one where the booty don't got no fur on it.
Amoeba with bad hair and a terrible.
Baboon? Is that what it is? Yeah. That's what he is.
Yep, that's it.
He's a dung beetle. It's okay. So, I have to say that I've been extremely pleased with the content that we've been getting. Kind of going back to these battles, right? So far there's been Swiss Beats and Timbaland, RZA versus Premier. We've seen Lil Jon and T-Pain, Jonta Austin and Neo. Forgive me for the white people that battle. I didn't watch y'all's, but songwriters for them. Then we had they had a gospel one. They had John P. Key versus Hezekiah Walker. Then we had the legendary Babyface versus Teddy Riley twice.
Twice.
Now, and Hit Boy versus Boy Wonder. And then now we have what's supposed to be 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah.
When is that? Where did you see that at?
I heard that I don't know if it was rumored or if it's in the works. I don't know, but allegedly it's supposed to be 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony.
The next one is Badu.
I know that.
Listen.
And Jill Scott.
So after that, what's in the works is 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs?
Possibly. Which I think Bone Thugs is going to smash.
Yeah, I'm like, is that really?
No. I think 3-6 Mafia is going to smash Bone Thugs and Harmony.
What?
They going to, bruh.
But the genre, okay, but the like, okay, maybe because they're groups, everybody want to see that, but I feel like they make different types of music, but maybe because they're both dark music, I don't know.
But going back to Jill and Badu, listen,
okay.
I'm gonna go sit and watch that in my car because if any of these mofos so much as while it's happening,
fuck your shit.
It's gonna be on. Listen, I'm
gonna light my incense and get my tea and my chakras.
Okay.
And,
okay, get my chakras aligned. Yep.
Together
my car.
Before I get in. Nah, I'm playing.
So who do y'all got?
Yep, Johnny. I'm gonna sit in my car and light some incense.
Honestly, I got Erykah because I wasn't tapped into Jill. So hey, my sister was. She's 5 years older than me. I wasn't mature enough for Jill growing up.
Well, but Erykah's been around longer.
She has, but her type of, like her beat style is different. You know what I mean? I wasn't on the sultry yet. But when I got older, I was like, "Ooh, that's some fire!" But then I was fucking, and she's like, I wasn't interested. So it's like I was on the other things. So
I will default to Erykah. I'm a bigger Erykah fan than Jill fan because I feel like Erykah is a more all-encompassing artist because she's hip hop and neo soul. Like she could do both. I don't feel like Jill Scott does hip hop like Erykah does hip hop.
I love them both. I can't. I only got Erykah because I know Erykah's songs.
All I'm saying is, nobody better do so much as fart in my house while it's on. And I will dare somebody to say mom.
So who y'all got, niggas?
Whoa.
Sorry.
That's so hostile.
I'm drawing over here. I'm sorry. I'm trying let's hear from the dicks. Who y'all got?
What would you say? It's about 79 degrees out today.
I'm gonna roll with 78.
Black men don't
78.
Yeah.
I'm going with Erykah. I think on a technical level, Jill Scott is technically better.
Vocally?
Yeah,
she's a more
technique is
trained singer.
When you say technique, what are you meaning? Because I thought you meant vocally. What do you mean?
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like technique and singing.
She's more classically trained singer.
Like
she's that.
Yeah. She's nice with the
melody, different than Erykah does.
100%.
But I feel as though Erykah has bigger and I think Erykah makes better music and has a bigger records, like a wider variety of bigger records. If that makes sense. But again, that's me being ignorant to Jill's music. Right. I know that there's going to be a lot of women that are going to be on Jill's side, rightfully so, because she makes music for them. But again, I feel as though that Erykah has bigger records.
I feel like there's going to be some shit. I'll be like, damn, I forgot she made that. Oh my God. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm here for it.
They say it's going to get interesting when it comes to, they trying to figure out which one of them is going to play You Got Me by the Roots.
Right.
Allegedly Jill Scott wrote it.
What if they both play?
Like, she's the original one that they recorded with. Jill covered it at like their at a couple of their concerts on tour. So that's why she has a live version recorded, because she stepped in.
But I heard that Jill Scott wrote a record for Erykah, like a big record.
Yeah, I thought I heard Jill Scott wrote it as well, but I don't know.
Which one?
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know.
I don't know if it was You Got Me or if it was another one of Erykah's records. I don't know. I have no idea. I got to do my research and look it up and see. Because if it was on, like, if we, truth be told, if Jill wrote like On and On or Tyrone.
Oh, snap. It's over.
It's over.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
You wouldn't even be here without me. Practice? You talking about practice?
Hey, that might seal the deal. Not to say that Erykah doesn't have other records in her bag that's, she can pull out, but that's a big one.
Do you think that this is an equal one, like equal?
I think so, but I don't know Jill's music. I don't know like her catalog. I only know like a few songs. I don't know all of her contributions to the industry. So, but I think that it's an even matchup. I know it's something that everybody wants to see, because apparently the two of them got tension, I guess you could say.
Well, they got
tension between the two of them. Or it used to be. I don't know if it still is.
It's like chicken, not beef.
Chicken?
It's like chicken?
Yeah.
Shredded chicken or chopped chicken?
They got chicken.
Shredded chicken or chopped chicken? That definitely matters.
It's got to be shredded.
It's got to be shredded.
It's got to be shredded barbecue. They black, so it's shredded with barbecue sauce on it, seasoning.
Right. 2 pieces of bread, that's it.
That's it. Got you a little sloppy joe or something.
Well, Erykah said they was coming naked, so it's like, I'm pretty sure they're going to get views just on that alone. No, I'm just kidding.
She said that they'll be nude.
She was like,
well, then Erykah's going to win just by the cakes alone.
Yeah. Her booty is out of control. Her booty literally is the size of two car seats.
Man. Put me in the window seat.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my God.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Look, I greatly appreciate this conversation. I hope that everybody listening and watching is inspired, to say the least. And as always, go ahead and do your own research, find what works best for you, and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's all I got.
Like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, share a friend.
I'm about to go align Tiana chakras right now. So.
Oh wow!
All right. And I need to go finish up some work. So y'all enjoy. Hopefully, I get another niece and nephew. Quarantine baby. No.
Yeah.
I'm not a crook.
We're just practicing.
Practice makes improvement.
Improvement. There it is. There, I got notes for days.
Yep. See.
Comes full circle.
All right.
Comes full circle. All right. The Kickback Show, the kickbackshow.com, the Kickback Show on everything. You feel me?